Okay, it's live, so we're going to give him a few seconds to get back in here before we get started. Before I do that, um, I wanted to take an opportunity to go over just a few things that are actually happening right now that a lot of people are not aware of. I want to make sure you guys are aware of it so that you know how to move forward or basically not be caught not understanding what's happening. Like I've said before, this whole um, class, if you will, has been about the evolution of money. Never come to my house. And the evolution works. The astonishing you guys debating never. I got a lot of female down here. Okay, when you come on the call, please make sure you mute your phone. I am recording these, and that's very distracting. So basically, we are in the middle of a evolution, and you have basically both sides of the aisle politically fighting it. Now, what you have to understand is when you have an evolution, there's usually a winner and a loser. Okay, and the people that stand to lose in this evolution are the ones that have been controlling everything ever since. So knowing that, you kind of have to understand why it's such a difficult task. Number one, they don't want to lose control over humanity and pretty much everybody because that's who they have a grip on. When I'm saying they, I'm talking about the elites or whatever you want to tag their name. I call them devils because anybody that wants to see people suffer is evil. But anyway, staying on track here, the evolution that we are currently going through is going to disrupt that control that they have. Okay, it's going to make it disappear, actually, because now at this point coming, you will no longer have to run and basically bow to them to eat, to have a house, to have a car, to have a life, to be able to go wherever you want when you want because you can afford to do it without working 700 hours. So, whenever you get into a situation and someone who has had control over you tends to create an issue to disrupt the loss of that control. So in shorter words, they don't want to give up, but it's too late. And it's actually happening as we speak. So that's why I was saying earlier that you're going to notice that it's not going to be so much about the evolution of money. You're in it. You're actually experiencing an evolution. So you get to personally see what happens during an evolution. If you notice, the prices of things when you go to the store are in the ceiling. You notice that mom and dad are probably complaining about the bills being ridiculous. You hear me talking about it. You're experiencing it yourself. And if you go to the store, any store really, with a $20 bill, you're not coming out with any change. If it is, it's going to be coin change. It won't be dollar change, depending on what you're getting. My point is, everything is very, very expensive because the value of what we're using no longer has a value. Okay. When you don't have a value on something that you're using to get something, you have to use a lot of it to get it. All right. So, in that recourse or in that process of what we are currently going through is an evolution. All right, you're going to go from this to basically, where's it at? I moved everything. I'm just going to hold this one up to this. Okay, of course, this is not it. I was looking for my wallet. Where'd it go? Anyway, you get my point. I'll just use this one. Wallet. All right. It's going to go from this, or from the paper, to digital, which is already digital. It's not like it's new. Like I've explained already, you did the homework on when digital was actually brought to you. It was during the checking. The checking started it. It evolved from the paper check that people were writing into a debit card. Where's my little debit card? I moved everything. Oh, I put them up. Had company, so I had to put stuff up. It went from the paper check to the debit card. And the second that happened, you went digital, but a lot of people didn't catch it. Now you're in the second digital, which is a little bit stronger, a little bit more secure, and it's going to give freedom. Now, let's pause there for a second. And we're going to talk about the word freedom. Financial freedom terrifies the people that have had control over us. Us, when I say us, I'm talking everybody, not just certain people, everybody. If you go to a job and it says you can have $8 an hour, that's control. If you start a job or start your own employment, which I encourage all of you to do, you have to fill out a lot of documents. That's control. You have to have license to do certain things. If you want to do nails, you actually have to have license. If you want to fix cars, you have to have a license. All that license stuff that you hear is control. And believe it or not, and this is the part that really upsets me to no limit, you have a license on you. Your parents had to get a license to have you. That sounds sick, doesn't it? Would you like to know what those licenses are? They're called birth certificates. If you notice at the top of your birth certificate, it says the state of, not mom and dad. It says state of. That means you belong to the state. That is your license, the license to have you. So when I tell you things like they have control on everybody, even themselves, they don't want to give that up. And the word freedom is a very delicate word. It means a lot to some people. It means nothing to others. Privileged folk. They are already free because they're on the other side of the dollar. You're going to hear me talk about that a little bit more in the next call because there's a specific thing I want to cover next call, not this one. But these people do not want to lose that control. And what the digital evolution that we are currently in is going to do is release us from them, per se. Okay. Now, there's also another thing going to happen called NESARA. And we might as well start talking about it because you need to understand what that means. And I'm going to ask you all to look that word up and get your best definition on it. NESARA. All you gotta do is put it in Google, read it, and then come up with your definition. I don't want the written or the definition that's in the internet. I want to know what you think about it. So you may have to watch a video or two on it. Just put it in YouTube. You'll see a bunch of videos. Grab one, kick back, watch it, and then think about what they're saying, and then come back next week. So I'm gonna put that on. There's gonna be a couple things. Nasara.
Can you spell that?
Nisaria. Nasara. All of what's in there is going to talk about freedoms. It's going to talk about things that we're going through right now. And it's going to release us from a certain control. Okay. And that's financial. That's what this call's about. There's a bunch of things it's going to release you from, but we're going to discuss financial. And what it's going to do is, in my best guesstimation, of course, this is just my opinion, and I like to think that I have done my homework. But then again, those in control are able to manipulate things to still work out in their benefit. But in this case, not so much. So that freedom, let's put that down too, because that's kind of what we're talking about. Freedom, financial freedom. All right, so far you got two things: financial freedom and Nasara. Those freedoms in the financial realm means that you will have total control of your finances. This is why I need you guys to really, really pay attention to this, because you are going to be in charge of your money. And you're going to go from a debt instrument, which is this. This is a debt instrument. It is not money. So don't ever say, well, give me my money. You're asking for a debt instrument. Call it what it is. So that way, when you speak on real money, it will resonate with you. And real money has a value. It has something backing it. It has a foundation for it to stand on. It has a purchasing strength in the world or in the financial arena. It has recognition to have value. It is recognized across the globe. So right now, this piece of paper is not recognized anywhere but here. I'll say that again, just in case you weren't listening. This piece of paper is only recognized here in the United States. Everybody else is trying to get rid of it. And they are. They're sending it back to us. And then when we have a whole bunch of this back here, its value shrinks to nothing because no one's using it. The only people that would be using it is us. And it has zero value. I'm going to call it like it is. The people would say, oh, it has a 70-cent true value. I would say it has 0%. It is all fake. It is all propped up to have a value, which it actually has none, zero. What's backing it? So anybody that says that it has a value of some sort or some type of value backing this, ask them one question: what's backing it? And watch their face, because they're going to go into the deer session. And you may not know this yet because you don't drive, but I'm pretty sure you've seen them on the road when you're driving. If they're around you, a deer a lot of times will wind up in the middle of the road, and when you come along with your headlights, it'll stop and look and stare like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That's called deer in the headlights. When you ask somebody what's backing the US dollar, they're going to deer in the headlights you, because they're going to try to come up with something to say it's backing it. And you could say that would be a lie. And then you explain to them, you know for a fact that there is nothing backing this paper currently. Nothing. There's nothing backing this. So it has no value. The only thing that's backing this piece of paper is a bunch of lies. Okay? A bunch of lies and a lot of people that are going along with the lie to say that it's a dollar when they know full well that it's not. Why else would all the rest of the countries, 212 of them, say, you know what? Here, take these back. We don't want them. We're going over to BRICS. BRICKS. BRICS. That's actually another, I'm just calling it BRICS, but it's another spelling. BRICS is the new currency outside of the US. I'll say that again. BRICS is the new currency outside of the US. So you ask, what is BRICS? Good question. Put it down. BRICS. You can use BRICS, it'll come up. What that is all the other countries have decided that the US dollar, and they know it for a fact, is worth nothing. So why are we forced to use it? That's because the US, and let's just be honest, is a thug. Always has been, and it will not always will be. Okay, because that whole arena of thought process is coming to an end. That's why this is such a fight. It's not only just an evolution of money, it's an evolution of everything. So you're in a very particular, living in a very particular time. You're going to see the outcome of what basically destroyed everything. Their greed, their immense greed to control and dominate everybody is coming back to beat them aside the head. And it's starting with the money. Now, BRICS, being a brand new financial system, is allowing each country to say, my money or my currency is worth this. And we're going to back it with the gold and resources that we have in our country. So India is full of gold. Africa is going to be the richest, and it always has been. A lot of people deny that thought and understanding that Africa is the richest country in the world. And all these other countries knew that. They went in and destroyed their mindset and raped the country for all of its resources. Not all of it, because there's still millions and millions and millions of tons of things under the ground. That is the richest country in the world. And then you look at around Christmas and every day, really, for them, but we see it on Christmas and every holiday, the starving children that are, living in garbage and all that. That is actually true. I've seen it with my own eye. And why would that be happening to the richest country in the world? It's called ignorance. Okay? When you don't know something and someone does come up around you and they know something, they can take advantage of you. And that's exactly what has happened to that country. The entire country. And it started with the invasion of other countries, not just a certain one. I'm not going to name any. We all know when we see who's there and what they're doing and have done. And when you have ignorance in an entire country, then people that know something come in and take advantage. So that has happened to us here in this country because of ignorance. Financial responsibility is everyone's job. Okay? You should want to know where this comes from. Why do you have it? And what is its actual value? What's backing it? If you don't know the answer to these questions, then you need to study a little bit. The reason why I can say that's zero, because I know what they're doing and what they have been doing for better than 50 years. Lying, stealing, taking advantage of, using tactics, terrorist tactics. It's called taxes. All the money that they have taken off of everyone who has worked goes in their pocket. Why is it all the taxes that are taken go to Puerto Rico? And you look out the front door, or if you go to the store, the potholes that almost eat your car up, the fact that the gas is $5 and $6, $7. Where's all the taxes? Why are your schools closing? Why are they not paying the teacher? Where's the money going? Or the fake money? Where's it going? Well, again, the evolution of finances is going to change all of those questions, but you have to be aware of it. You have to be abreast of it. You have to know how to use what's coming. And that's what this class is about. On top of showing you a few things that maybe you have not heard. Financial freedom is your responsibility. You have to be aware of where your finances come from, and where they go. Where do they go? Well, first they're going to move on. I'm going to hold this up. They're going to move on a wallet. Remember, we're in digital, so we're not even talking about paper anymore. They're going to bring out a paper for people like that are, 70, 80, 90 years old that are not going to get into wallets. Or ignorance, and I say this with a light touch, people who are not educated. And that there's a lot of those. People who did not get an opportunity to understand how to use technology. Okay, I'm not picking on any specific ethnicity. I'm talking people in general. There was an era called the 60s. I'm in that era where a lot of people kind of just said, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to work 40 hours and whatever they give me, they give me. Then there was an era of technology. You had to jump up 3 years or 3 decades. 60, 70, 80. Mid 80s, the technology boom took off. Mid 80s. All right, that's when the cell phones, the beepers, and all that stuff, the little technology stuff that started coming out. So that's when there was a separation. And that separation was people that used phones, beepers, and all that technology, and people that didn't, and said, one is too expensive. I'm not even going to bother with that. The phone at the house rings, I'll use that. And that went on for another 2 decades. 2000 was the big scare. Oh, the world's going to end, the internet 2000, everything's going to fall apart. Ah, chick a little, chick a little. That was another separation. Again, that's the second separation away from technology. So you have better than 4.5 to 5 decades of people saying, I'm not messing with no cell phone. Then you jumped into 2000 or the 1000. So from 2000 all the way up to 2018, 17, you had a mix of people having to come back to or try to learn computers, cell phones, technology, in essence. Then you guys arrived. You guys. Nintendo, Atari, and all that, Xbox technology. You started using it at a very young age. Some of you still using it. Guilty. But I was always into technology. I like technology. I always did like it. So I was into it long before. I wish I had paid attention on a few other things. I would be immensely rich right now, but that's okay. I'm rich in other ways, just like you are. So now you're into this evolution. I'm going to fast forward all the way up. You have a separation still. You have people that use cell phones and know how to use them, and then you have people that don't. And then you have people in between. Well, just show me how to do it, and then I don't know how to do that. But if something else comes up, or if you need to do something else, you can't do it because you didn't take the time to learn that technology. Fast forward to today. You are in the middle of a financial reconstruction of this country. Okay, the paper is going away. This is going away. This is pretty much already gone, but it's going away slowly but surely, right in front of your face. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a couple videos about a certain orange-haired gentleman and some conversation with a different gentleman that's running things right now. And they're looking to have a debate or a conversation, and they are ducking it as hard as they can. Now, I'm not going to say anything about seniors or individuals in upper ages because there are some really sharp individuals out here. And I try to get around them as much as I can to learn from them. And I hope you do the same with me. But there are some that when they get in the elderly ages, that things start leaving. Okay. And an individual that is basically running a country needs to be extremely sharp. Extremely sharp. Can't be any gray area. It has to be on point. Well, we have watched this individual destroy this entire country. All of them, really. I blame all of them. Not just him, but the left side, the right side, the House, all of them. Everybody over there in DC are crooked, compromised, and evil, period. So when you look at what we're going through, evolution, and that freedom, they don't want that. They want you to stay broke. They want you to stay a slave to their whims. Well, that whole thing is going away. And I'm so happy to be alive to see it happen. Because it was illegal from day one. So let's talk about this freedom, financial freedom. And let's talk about these wallets. This is why I asked the question right off the top of the call, who has a wallet, who doesn't. These wallets are literally your source mover. Okay, it's either going to come in here and you're going to go shopping, or it's going to come here in here and it's going to go over here. Let me put it in the right hand. It's going to come in here and then wind up here. So let's talk about these two today. While I have you, how much time I got? 30 more minutes. I got to keep it at an hour. So the wallet, let's talk about the wallet for a quick second. The wallet is where resources. Now, resources, I'm going to say resources because of the simple fact that we're still in this evolution yet, and that terminology that's going to be used is not yet pinned. Okay, is it crypto? Is it digital currency? Is it this? Is it that? Is it quantum paper? You know, the identity of our finances has not yet been recognized. Okay, it's not this. It's leaving from this and going to the new thing, whatever that is. Now, you and I both know that they have to come up with something quickly because that is pretty much done. I'm hearing, no proof yet because I don't have it in my hand to say, here it is, that there's going to be a paper called a USTN. Okay. Don't know yet. This is just hypothetical. It's going to be a brand new piece of paper. I'm just going to hold this up. It's going to be a brand new piece of paper. It's going to be very colorful. It's going to have a denomination on it, and it will be backed with the resources of this country, which are immense. They would tell you that it's not. That again, that's the lying to us. They lie about everything and have lied about everything. So the resources, and this is why I use that word, is because a resource is considered a financial gain. Resource, okay, is a financial gain to you. So you have to use the right technology. You have to use the right terminology. You have to use the right understanding of both. The reason why I use resources is that fact. It's a financial gain to you. So that's on your far left. You would be seeing my far right. I'm actually holding up my left hand. That's over there. That's resources. Now, resources comes from everything that you're doing. Resources comes from school because you're learning things to do things in the future. Resources comes from mom and dad in the form of chores. Okay, the chores creates a resource, the finances, $10, $20, whatever it is. Resources come from, and I was trying to get the word allowance, from doing odd jobs around the neighborhood. Let's say that you're really good at raking grass. And there is a technique to raking grass. A lot of people don't know that. But anyway, that's another thing I'll go into because I love plant life. That's going to be probably my next move in the class. But anyway, if you go to the neighborhood and rake some grasses, that's not really a chore. That is a self-employment. Okay, so you start utilizing things like that, self-employment. You decided to get up, go get the rake out of the garage and say, I'm going to go up and down the neighborhood and see if people want me to rake their grass. You'd be surprised how many say, yeah, go right ahead. And then when you get done, they pay you. Make sure you take bags. Don't leave a pile of stuff, but you get my point. You have created an entrepreneur employment for yourself. Entrepreneur means you decided to do it, you created it, and then you went and did it. Of course, you didn't have to create a rake. You get my point. You decided, I'm going to go rake some grass. You just put yourself to work. That's entrepreneurism. That's a resource. Joining a promise delivered. That's a resource. Joining the military or whatever it is you plan on doing with your life that creates a financial gain, that's a resource. Now, all of these resources over here on the left have to come somewhere. Now, you all have an advantage. You're not going to say, oh, just send it to the bank. Here's my direct deposit. You can have my money. I just want to work for you. You're not going to do that. I've done that. Your parents have done that. You've probably already done it if you've had some type of job, but that's the old stuff. We're not going to say that anymore because we're no longer under their control. That's what this is about. Being self-reliant, self-sufficient, self-sustaining. You are supposed to go to work for yourself. This country supports people that open a business. Well, used to. This group over there now want to destroy this country. Well, actually, they already have. We're picking up the pieces. But the whole America thing, and the reason why everybody is running to this country is because the old idea of America, watch how this comes full circle, is the land of the free. Is it? Absolutely not. If you think you're free in the United States, you are completely lost in the sauce because you are not. The land of opportunity. That means you can come over here, you can do a business. They encourage you to work for yourself and for them, but they do used to. Okay. Like I said, the whole ideology over there has changed. It's under a whole nother mindset. Okay. But the original idea of the United States was it was a place where you could go be free, you could have a home, you could open a business, you could have children, and everything is good. There's schooling for them, there's this for them, there's this for you. It used to be a beautiful place. Notice I said used to. And you will find that I'm extremely patriotic. I served 3 branches of the military. So yes, I support this country, the old one. So the evolution and the resources have to go somewhere. Well, with this evolution, you're going to send it here to your wallet, because in the very near future, the employment and people are going to be using digital currency. That's the evolution that you're watching happen. This is what they're fighting. You'll see why in just a minute. So if everybody's using digital and no longer this, so if they're all using this stuff, notice I have a wallet in my hand, right? I have a wallet. There's no PNC, Chase, or anybody's name on there. It's just a dot, okay? Yes, it is controlled by a company, which is Cash App, but it's a digital currency device. Now, follow me right quick and you'll see why they're upset. Your resources, like all the things I was talking about that generate a financial gain to you, are no longer going to go to the bank, PNC, or whoever it is you bank with. They're not going to go there because everyone's going to go into this financial evolution and start using digital. So now you have some control where your resources go. They don't go to the bank anymore because of what this class is teaching and what you have understood and understanding to be a fact. And if you watch a little TV, you'll notice there's commercials now about wallets. There's commercials now about banks. There's commercials now about Bitcoin machines being at the gas station. You weren't seeing those commercials 2 years ago, even though the Bitcoin machine has been at the gas station for better than, when was I in Detroit? 2013, 14. They were spaced out just a little bit, but now they're everywhere. They're everywhere, even at the grocery store. You can buy Bitcoin at the grocery store. If you can buy it there, what is going to be next? You can now purchase things there with your Bitcoin. Evolution, sweethearts, is happening right in front of you. Trust me. All right, so the resources, they have to come somewhere. They're going to come to your wallet. You're not going to send them to the bank. You're going to send them to yourself, to your wallet. All right. So let's say your paycheck came, a promise delivered came, your job came, or whatever came. It's all on this wallet. Now you have to say, all right, I got too much on here. I need to send it somewhere. Are you going to send it to PNC, Chase, and Wells Fargo? Hell no. Nope. You're going to send it to your own bank. Okay? You're going to send it to your own bank. Why would you do that? Simple. Because now you have control where your resources go. You have control how much resources go into that bank. And who has access to it? You. Does anyone else have access to it? Can any teller go in and bring out $20 and hand it to you? Absolutely not. They are no longer in the picture. Ding, a light should have just gone off in all of your heads. They are no longer in the picture. Talking about the bank. You have full control. You have full control of your finances. Now watch. Resources come into the wallet. The wallet can go to the store and shop. The wallet can also send the resources that are left over to your bank. Both items are in your possession. They're in your hands. Now watch this. Now you'll see the full circle that I was talking about. Why do you think they're upset and fighting it? Because these two items give you financial freedom. You don't need them. This wallet and many others have this insignia on the bottom. Or they have, like I said, I put the other ones up. That's a dead card. That's why that's sitting there. But anyway, it has Visa or MasterCard at the bottom. Now, those are considered clearinghouses where finances go in and finances go out. Yes, they control that, but they don't control what comes in and what goes out. They just process it and take a little bit of the transaction. They get a fee. So yes, they're going to process any transaction that goes through, but they don't control what and how much. You do when you decide, yeah, those Nikes are $200, but I wouldn't buy them. But anyway, that's you. You're making that decision to do a $200 purchase. Visa or MasterCard takes a piece of that transaction every time you do it. We don't mind because we get our product. We've got what we were shopping for. You shop with your device. You didn't have to go to the bank and do a withdrawal slip to pull out $200 and they ask you, 10 questions. Why are you pulling out $200? They don't ask you that, but they're looking at you and they're keeping record that you pulled out $200. You go to the ATM machine with a debit card and put it in and pull out. Let's say that you had to get braces. Okay, braces. Everybody knows braces are $1,000 and up. Can you go to the ATM machine and say, well, I need $1,400 to go get my braces? Guess what that machine is going to tell you? Transaction denied. So now you walk in the bank. You go in the bank and say, well, I need $1,400 out of my account. A lot of times they'll go ahead and do it, but they're going to ask questions. What's it for? It's none of your business, but they're going to ask. Certain banks will ask. PNC will ask. But you see what I'm saying? You have to go through driving up to an ATM machine and saying no. You go into the bank to get these funds and they question why you're getting it. It's none of your business. Now, flip side that. We have our wallet. And let's just say that, it was a resource day. resources all came to the wallet today. Let's call it Friday payday. And you have close to $60,000, $70,000 on this wallet, right? Now, if we know that everything is going to go over to digital transactions, and this wallet has this insignia on the bottom of it, which means you can shop with it. You go to the dentist's office, you don't even go to the ATM machine. You don't go to the bank. You go to the dentist's office, and let's just say that they're awake and they have the receiving debit card, which most of them have they accept Visa or MasterCard. Most of them. These wallets will have the capability of swapping the crypto that's on there or digital currency. If it's digital currency, there's no need to swap. It's whatever is happening in this country. You put the card up there and it goes beep, and you go get your braces. See the difference? The freedom in that choice was going straight to the dentist, hit the thing, it goes beep, they put your braces on. That's freedom. You didn't have to see nobody. You didn't have to ask nobody. You didn't have to go through any changes. You didn't have to go through any foolishness. You just went, paid for, and got. That's freedom. And that's what they don't want you to have. But it's like I said, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Within a matter of weeks or less, I would say less, you're going to see this evolution happen. This is why I need you all to have a wallet, and we're going to go into getting the bank next. But I need you to have a wallet and it be hydrated. And the reason why I'm asking for that information is for that fact. All right, so let's jump into questions. You have 3 items for next week: NESARA, Financial Freedom, and BRICS. I think it's spelled with a Q, BRIQS. I have to look. Any questions?
Mr. Lewis, would you be able to spell NESARA one more time for me, please?
NISARA. I think that's correct. Let's look it up, so we're all not misleading. One moment.
Excuse me, Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
I think it's spelled NESARA.
Yes, it is. I'm looking at it. Correct. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Did you get that, Jaden?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
All right. BRICS, I think is, I'm pretty sure it's with a Q. Not seeing it. Any question?
Hey, sir, I got one question. How you spelling NESARA again?
NESARA.
N-E. I was just making sure it was right.
No problem. That's what questions are for. Anybody? Any other question?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question.
Yes.
Um, this wasn't necessarily talked about on this call, but I
Mhm.
do have a question regarding the quantum financial system.
Hmm.
So since we're coming to a point where, the dollar is no longer going to be used as currency in this country, do you think that the leaders of this country or the people who secretly run it or whatever like that, do you think that they're going to try to go back to using the dollar as a means to control people's finances and what goes in and out of the banks? Do you think that they're going to try to like reverse the evolution that's advancing right now?
Okay. Awesome question. And I think that was the requirement for last week. But let me answer your question. Number one, and I have to be very careful what I say on that simply because we're recording it, but there's no secrets with me. I'm not trying to make money on YouTube, so I really, So here's the thing. What has to happen is you're going to hear about something called the EBS, Emergency Broadcast System. You're going to get a message across that thing about what has happened. See, a lot of people, when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about a very large number of people in this country have no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea. And a lot of them do not believe that this administration and prior administrations have done anything bad. We all know if you get in the car right now, if I was to go get in the car on recording and go to the street and run 90 mile an hour through town and a cop sees me, what's that cop going to do? Gonna come after
Stop.
me, right? Right. And when he gets up to the car, he's gonna ask what question?
He's either going to ask if you know how fast you were going or for your license and registration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the whole transaction is going to come out in you broke the law. And now you are facing the consequences of breaking the law. If you have issues on your license, that's going to be brought up. If you have been in jail before, that's going to be brought up. They're going to look at your whole history. It's on your license anyway. All they got to do is scan it. But my point here is this. When you break the law, there are consequences. So the EBS, when the time comes, is going to broadcast all of the violations that these people have done. So in essence, what's going to happen is they're going to get a ticket. And with that ticket, some of them are going to lose their lives because it's considered treason. In treason, the punishment for treason against this country is death. Now, when you tell somebody that's not paying attention, things like that, they're, you're just a conspiracy theorist, you're this, you're that. Okay, keep watching. So to answer your question, these individuals that are controlling things are going to be ticketed. They're going to be pulled over. Some will be arrested. A lot will be arrested. Some will lose their lives because of the decisions they made that went against humanity. So it's not all about money. Trust me. It's about experimentation on the humanity. It's about the lies of finances. So those people will no longer be here. They will no longer have and hold positions that make those kind of decisions because it will no longer exist. The banks that we are running into right now are going to change. If you've been into a bank lately, you'll notice that the layout is different. It's not just one little aisle, loan officers and the counter full of tellers, right? It's gone from that to no loan officers, none, to cubicles all the way around the edge of the perimeter of that building, where you sit down and have a conversation with a financial advisor, wealth manager. These people will talk directly to you. Why? Because you will have your own finances. The new evolution, even if it's in that institution, they will not have access to it until you come in and sit down and have a conversation and say, yes, you can take 10,000 and put it over there in Rice. They're going to say, well, Rice is doing real good now. You might make, $6,000, $7,000 a week off of that if you put 10,000. Okay, yeah, go ahead, put 10,000. 2 weeks later, you come back. How do we do? Well, we took a loss, pull the 10,000. You are in total control of your finances. So to make that happen in a real-time process, that's why it's going from a paper and a central bank to a decentralized, which means there is no one place where all money goes. That one place is here and here. That's why you're in this class, so that you can remove yourself out of their system properly. You will still have a means to go shopping. You have a means to put your finances away under your control, because it's digital. They can't stop it. Even the stuff that they try to bring out, which is the CBDC, still lives on the blockchain. The quantum financial system lives on the blockchain. So they have to have it for the stuff that they want. But like I said, the people that make those decisions, the systems that are in that, do not or will not sustain, because it's going out of that system and into a digital one where you have control. So they won't be able to, because once you put your stuff on the blockchain, it disappears. Can't find it, can't see it. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And BRICS is BRIQS. I knew there was a Q in there, just wasn't sure. Any other questions?
Excuse me, Montavo, but BRICS is BRICS.
CS. Okay. Thank you.
That stands for the original countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. I appreciate that. BRICS.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Lewis, I just have a quick question before you go. Do you recommend that we start pulling out now? Thanks.
I have been saying that. Been 401ks. There's a way to convert those into precious metals. Miles Franklin. I would go to him, give him a call. He'll show you how to switch it over. There's no.
Can we get his contact information? Because I'm in that position and I don't know how to do that. And
Yeah, you call them, they'll tell you. Hold on one second.
Then I have the question of if I pull my money out the bank, how do I continue to pay my bills?
Well, you don't pull it all.
Okay,
You don't pull it all. You just pull enough. Let's say,
majority of it.
right, let's say that you have, I don't know, you've been working, don't give any numbers. Let's say that you have 100,000. You would take 75 of it and convert it. Leave
Am I-
25 there.
Am I converting it to USDT or Bitcoin?
No, you would be converting it to a precious metal IRA.
Okay, I definitely need to talk to that person.
Sure. Let me click this. Phone number. Hold on. Everything disappeared. All right, so let me find the phone number. Where's the picture of him? That's him right there. 952-929-7006 and tell them you want to convert a 401, or you want to convert to your substantial or a portion of your holdings into a precious. And they'll talk to you, show you how to do all that, or they'll direct you to the people that they use. But you
Okay,
start with him.
okay, thank you.
He's trusted across the whole internet. All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mateo, I tried to call my mom, but she's not picking up.
Okay. Well, just have her call me when you do get a hold of her.
I got you. So I sent her a text.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll get together and get that settled. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Well, I got to start the adult crypto class. So let me end YouTube.